All right, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Is the audio and the video very clear, ladies and gentlemen? Do let me know. Do let me know if the audio video is clear, everyone. Please write in the chat box if the audio video is clear. All right, so excuse me for the scar I have on the face. It's because of an insect bite, so it has swollen a bit. All right, so let us start this. All right, good evening, Harshit, Sajal, good evening. So we are doing this IPM Indore practice sessions for verbal ability. So in this class today, I'll try to improve the level of the questions. The level of the questions will be pretty good, and we'll be practicing on a very good level today. And all these guys who have been attending the classes, they would know that we have been offering free classes for IPM DUJAT and IPM Indore and IPM Rohtak, classes. So yes, is this also for DUJAT? Obviously, anything which offers maths, English, and reasoning in a section. So this thing can definitely give you a good idea about it. Yes. IPM and DUJAT on the same date, Sajal. All right, so give me a call, Sajal. We'll talk about it. Okay, not an issue. And all right, so we have some mixed kind of questions today. We have some mixed kind of questions today. We have we have some reading comprehension questions, plus we have some questions related to verbal ability, that means para-jumble, para-completion, odd man out, and these kind of things. So we'll try to solve some 10-15 questions in that sort and try to get some idea about what is this examination like and as to what level you should be preparing yourself with. And when we talk about it, let's take a look of the questions, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Let's start with verbal ability questions so that we may have a bit of warm up, and then possibly we'll start solving questions. All right. So this is question number 11, question number 13, and question number 13 talks about this is a kind of summary type question wherein you have a paragraph. You have to read this paragraph, and you have option A, B, C, D. You have to choose the right answer out of this whole. You have to find an option from the right option as the summary of this particular question, right? So first and the most important thing, this question carries a good level. This is from CAT, right? This is a past year CAT question, right? I'll give you all 2 minutes to read this question. 2 minutes to read this question, and then I will explain to you guys. Okay, so just in the next 2 minutes, just go through reading this question so that you may have a prior idea about what this question is all about, and then possibly I'll discuss you guys. All right, so go ahead. 2 minutes. Just mark the right answer. Just type in the right answer, whatever you feel like, so that when I discuss, you people may enjoy this session. All right, so just Sajal has written the right the answer. Anybody else who can write the answer? Laksh has also written the answer, right? I request all of you to keep on punching answers so that you may have an idea if you have done the question right or wrong. Okay. Anyway, I will try to discuss this question in the next 2 minutes and explain you as to how would you go ahead and understand this question and mark the right answer. Okay. So question number 13 says that to me a classic means precisely the opposite of what my predecessors understood. A work is classical by reason of its resistance to contemporaneity and supposed universality. That means a classical, all right, the classical work is something, a classic is something which gives you an idea about a supposed universality. Okay, supposed universality. Universality means something which is applicable to almost everybody on planet. Okay. Laksh Bansal sir, can you arrange current affairs for DUJAT? DUJAT, see, on the portal we give a lot of monthly, we give you monthly PDFs, right, in the portal, right, and you can download it from there and you can take it, because I think that current affairs is something you really need to, go through every, right. There's no point in giving a lot of sessions for DUJAT, Laksh, right. It's all about reading one thing a lot of times so that you remember, and whenever you get an option, you are able to mark the right answer, Laksh. So we are not giving current affairs classes for DUJAT. However, we are giving you PDFs on our portal. You can always go and download it. Okay, you can enroll yourself. You don't even need to enroll yourself. You sign up, and then the current affairs things are on the portal are free, so you can download it. All right. Anyways, so we are talking about this particular question. To me, and classic means precisely the opposite of what my predecessors understood. A work is classical by reason of its resistance to contemporaneity and supposed universality, by reason of its capacity. By reason of its capacity to indicate human particularity and difference in that past epoch. Right. So a classic work is something which relates to everyone in present and the past as well. This is what it tries to say, right? Next, the classic is not what tells me about shared humanity, or more truthfully put, what lets me recognize myself as already present in the past, what nourishes in me the illusion that everything has been like me and has existed only to prepare the way for me. Instead, the classic is, now the question starts from here, okay, this is the most important line of the question. Instead, the classic is what gives me access to radically different forms of human consciousness and for any given generation of readers, and thereby expands for them the range of possibilities of what it means to be a human being. So a classic is something which gives you a range of people, right? When you see Ramayana, when you read Ramayana or Ramcharitmanas, or when you read Gita, or when you read say Quran Sharif, or you read the Bible, or when you read Guru Granth Sahib, you get to understand that a good human being is not, there's not a set of characteristics of a good human being. There's so many examples of good human being, and you can become like all of them. So you can maintain your own self and your own set of characteristics as a human being, right? Ram had a different set of characteristics, Lakshman had a different set of characteristics, and Hanuman had a different set of characteristics. So everybody is great in their own perspective, and they have their own unique concept of flowering, right? So when you read a classic book, when you read literature, right, it gives you an idea that there is so much of a range of unique concept of flowering in human personality that you can become a great person just by following the uniqueness in you. You don't need to become a common person or try to right. And absolutely, Sajal, you are absolutely correct. We realize that no one is good or bad. Everybody has its own set of ethics and own set of characteristics, right? So this is what this question states. Now let us go to the options. A classic is able to focus on the contemporary human condition and a unified experience of human consciousness. No, there is no, you can't say that every classic gives you a unified experience of human consciousness. It gives you varied experience of human consciousness, and you can become a person like you are, okay? You can become the best person in your own way. So this again cannot be the right answer. B, a classical work seeks to resist particularity and temporal difference even as it focuses on a common humanity. No, it does not focus on common humanity, right? Every person has a different set of humanity. So this cannot be the right answer. C, a classic is a work exploring the new, going beyond the universal, the contemporary, and the notion of unified human consciousness. Notion of a unified human consciousness. So let's see if we can have this answer or D1. Let's read D1. A classic is a work that provides access to universal experience of human race as opposed to radically different forms of human consciousness. So a classic does not oppose radically different forms of human consciousness. It actually gives access to radically human forms of consciousness. So D cannot be the right answer. The correct answer should be C, and we mark the C as the right answer, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this particular explanation is very clear with you guys, right? The question is a brilliant question. It is a beautiful question. So in IPM Indore, if you get this kind of question, you should be understanding the gist of the paragraph in a brilliant way and then trying to come to a conclusion to mark an answer. All right. So I hope this question is very clear. All those people who are online, do let me know if it is very clear, ladies and gentlemen. Just write it clear or not clear if you want it to understand once more, or you want me to explain it once more. Right. So just go ahead and give me a punch. Right. Did not understand the meaning, just went with the flow, but that's bad, Sajal, right? You should try to understand the meaning of the paragraph, okay? Maybe you mark the right answer because you have such a good practice over it, right? So that works sometimes, but that does not mean that you will come up with the best option available, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, all of you, Abhay, Sajal and Harshit, all other guys, please let me know if you have understood it fast. Understood? All right. So we'll move on to another, we'll move on to another question, right? I suppose not everybody is answering, right? Please write it in the chat box, okay? Let's go to another question, okay? 5 sentences are related to the topic given below. 4 of them can be put together, form a meaningful and coherent paragraph. Identify the odd one out. So you have to answer the odd one out, choose its number as your answer and key it in. Right, so you have to give this particular answer, right? Just go ahead and you have 2 minutes to read this question and type in the right answer, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes, fast. 2 minutes to solve this question and type in the answer, fast. Sajala has given the right answer. All other people, please write the answer fast. Please write the answer fast. Oh, Bharti is here, Arpit is here, Rajshri is here. They have given me the answers, but let's see if the answers are correct. I hope, Rashi, your interview went well. We had words on WhatsApp. Okay, let's see this question. 5 sentences related to a topic. All right, so odd man out type question. Let's read the options first. The water that made up ancient lakes and perhaps an ocean was lost. Particles from the sun collided with molecules in the atmosphere, knocking them into space or giving them an electric charge that caused them to be swept away by the solar wind. Okay. Now, them can refer to water as well. Most of the planet's remaining water is now frozen or buried, but clues over the past decade suggested that some liquid water, a presumed necessity for life, might survive in underground aquifers. Data from NASA's MAVEN orbiter shows that solar storms stripped away most of Mars' once thick atmosphere. Recent study reveals how Mars lost much of its early water, while another indicates that some liquid water remains. Alright, I think, see, This one talks about the partial loss of water there. This one also talks about partial loss, right? Most of Mars once thick atmosphere. So this also talks about partial loss of water on the planet. C also talks about partial loss of water. Most of the planet's remaining water is now frozen. So this is also talking about partial loss of water. B is talking about how that partial loss was made on that planet. This one talks about that complete water that made up ancient lakes and perhaps an ocean was lost. So B talks about partial loss, C talks about how that partial loss happened, D also talks about partial loss of water in the atmosphere, E also talks about partial loss of water in the atmosphere. So ladies and gentlemen, B, C, D and E all talk about partial loss of water in the atmosphere, whereas A talks about complete loss, right? Complete loss of water. So definitely A will be an odd man out type question out here. So all those guys who have written the answer B, D, right, just go through the question again and you will find this connection, and then you will be able to realize that where the mistake was, right? If at all you have to make this whole paragraph into one go, right? How can we study? D, data from NASA's Maven orbiter show that solar storms stripped away most of the Mars once thick atmosphere. So here we are discussing about solar storms. B also talking about solar storm. So D and B can come together. A is talking about a recent study reveals how Mars lost much of its water. And C, most of the planets remaining. Which planets? We are talking about Mars, right? So C and E will be together. So D, B and C, E are making mandatory pair. A will not come in between, and A will get into A will be the odd man out here. Sajal is writing, A talks about partial loss as well, complete loss with respect to ancient lakes and oceans, not with respect to Mars as a whole planet. Right, Sajal, you see, if you see the flow of the complete paragraph, right, D and B, it is talking about a solar storm. Here it is talking about how that solar storm damaged. So D and B can be one, one mandatory pair, right? E is talking about ancient study reveals about how Mars lost some much of its early water, and see most of the planet's remaining water. So E, C, D and B, right? E, C, D and B can make one paragraph, and A will go odd man out. So that is how it is not fitting in the complete loop of the statement. Hence, A will be the right answer. This is CAT, I think 17 or 18 question. Right? Is this question clear with everybody? Is this question very clear with everyone? Rajshri, Arpit, Bharti, Abhay, Sajal, and all those guys who are watching right now. Arshit, okay, clear. Arpit, clear. Brilliant. Wonderful. Rajshri, did you understand this question? Rishabh, right, clear. Deepika, clear. All right, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, let's go to another question, right? Question number 15 to 17. Proper order of the sentence and key in the right answer. So this is a para jumble question. So these are 5 options. You have to make them as a coherent paragraph, right? Arrange them and write the options. Punch in the answers. I'll give you 2 minutes to solve this question, ladies and gentlemen. Fast. 2 minutes. Saurabh is saying, swelling near your eyes, are you okay? Yes, I am okay. I was, some insect has bitten me. I was in my garden, I was cleaning my car, and then I got this swelling. Some insect has kissed me. So, Saurabh, so it's okay. All right, so Aditi is here. Saurabh, I'm okay. Thanks for the concern. Saurabh, I'm okay, absolutely okay, fantastic. All right, Aditi has given us the right answer. All right, Saurabh. Aditi has given us an answer. Rishabh, Bharti has not given an answer. Oh, she gave it right away. All right, hi Aditi, hello, hello. All right, let's go to the question, right? First and the most important thing whenever you solve a parajumble question, ladies and gentlemen, is to find a kind of subject in the paragraph, right? So you must have all practiced it a lot, and you must have understood by now that whenever you solve a parajumble question, our first priority is to find the subject in the question. Now, if you read the whole, all the paragraphs, all the statements, you will understand that E contains the subject. How does it contain the subject? Let me explain you. Just as life has death as its opposite, so is tradition by default the opposite of innovation. So as life is the opposite of death, similarly tradition is the opposite of innovation. So this is giving me a clear idea about how this paragraph is following. Then it is now a truism, that means it is now a truth to say that traditions are not handed down unchanged but are invented. So as we see that this is taking tradition as a subject and opposite of innovation. Similarly, we say that it is now a truism to say that traditions are not handed down unchanged but are invented. So traditions also keep on changing itself, right? So E and D come in one line of thought. E, D, and then the process of handing down implies not a passive transfer but some contestation in defining what exactly is to be handed down. So it says that A is stating that whenever we are handing down tradition, right, it is not a passive transfer, it is a conscious transfer, and whenever you transfer a tradition in a very conscious way, you definitely change that tradition as per time, as per needs, and we ensure that this is in line with the current days, right? So E, D and A will come into one clean line. Then see, every generation selects what it requires from the past and makes its innovation some more than others. So every generation changes and tweaks the tradition when it passes down it to the next tradition, right? So E, D, A, and then C and E. Wherever Western scholars have worked on the Indian past, the selection is even more apparent and the inventing of a tradition much more recognizable. And this gives an example that whenever there is, Western influence, then possibly whenever we hand down the traditions, then definitely we choose the best of the traditions to be passed and we tweak it as per our own needs. So E, D, A, C, and then B. This is how this paragraph goes like, right? So, right. So I hope this is very clear, ladies and gentlemen. Yes? Did you all understand this particular question? Wonderful question to solve. Bharti, Aditi, Sajal, Rishabh, Deepika, Arpit, Saurabh. And then, yeah. Do you all understand this question, ladies and gentlemen? Yes? Understood. Brilliant. Brilliant. Anybody else who has a problem, or I want an answer from everyone so that I may go to the next question. Clear? Clear, clear. Very good. Very good. Brilliant. Wonderful. We'll go to the next question, ladies and gentlemen. Question number 15 to 17. 5 sentences labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 given in this question properly sequenced from a coherent paragraph. Decide. Alright, great, brilliant. So this is basically a parajumble question. Question number 16 is a parajumble question. I give it 2 minutes. Read it and punch in the right answer. Fast. Read it and punch in the right answer. 2 minutes. Thank you, Ghost Legend. Thank you. Solve this question, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes. I want answers from everyone, okay? Let's not waste this session. Let's use, because we have got some wonderful questions. All right. So the current, the correct answer to this particular question is E. I think it is not E. We'll start with A, where that put E, A, E, B, D, C. I think this is how it goes. All right. So I think Bharati and Aditi has given the right answer. Right. Sajal also has given the right answer. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Right, and yeah, A, E, B, D, C. Yes, Sahaj has also given the right answer. Yeah. All right. Let's see. First of all, we have to find as to which one will start this statement. See, the cardiac disease. Now, this is the is mentioned out here. That means there should be a mentioning of cardiac disease before we write this statement, because had it not been mentioned, we would have written a cardiac disease. But when there is the cardiac disease, that means cardiac disease has already been mentioned. So we cannot state the, we cannot start the paragraph with B. C, correcting the mutation in a gene, it is caused in results. So it results in results announced in nature, and T. This is again not starting of the line. This is again not starting of the line. The only answer we are left with A. Scientists have for the first time managed to edit genes in human embryo to repair a genetic mutation, fueling hopes that such procedures may one day be available outside lab conditions. A, then E. In results. Results of what? Lab conditions result. The kind of experiment they have done there. Right? So A and then E. In results announced in Nature this week, scientists fix a mutation that thickens the heart muscle, a condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. Then we'll go for B, the cardiac disease. What cardiac disease? The one which is mentioned out here in E, right? So A, E and B make one line of thought, and then after reading this paragraph, you definitely know as to how to fit in the other options. And when you know this triplet, you definitely have the right answer in your head. All right, guys, is this question very clear? A lot of people have given. Rashri was confused while solving this question maybe, and she has started the paragraph with B. But now you understand, Rashri, you understand that we cannot start a statement with just the when it has not been mentioned earlier, right? I saw a lion in the jungle. The lion was very strong. So when I say the lion in the was very strong, that means a lion should have mentioned earlier. You know, so the combination of a and the in a statement should be very clear, Aditi. And Rashri also, right? So Rashri, I hope you understand your mistake out there. Okay, is this question very clear with you, ladies and gentlemen? Just let me know. Is this question very clear? Is the explanation very lucid, very clear with all of you guys? Sahaj and Bharti, clear? Wonderful, wonderful. I'll go to the next question. Okay, again a parajumble question. Again a parajumble question. I want right answers from everyone, right? I want right answers from everyone, okay? So I'll give you 2 minutes to solve this question, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes, all right? Fast, 2 minutes, solve it up. Solve it up. 2 minutes. Satyabrati Syllogism video is already there on the YouTube channel, this YouTube channel. Please search for it. We have already uploaded it. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Let's take this question in stride. The study suggests that disease did not spread with such intensity, but that it may have driven human migrations across Europe and Asia. The oldest sample came from an individual who lived in Southeast Russia about 5,000 years ago. Ages of the skeletons correspond to a time of mass exodus from today's Russia and Ukraine into Western Europe and Central Asia, suggesting that a pandemic could have driven these migrations. In the analysis of fragments of DNA from 101 Bronze Age skeletons from sequences from... Alright, let's see. E gives me a subject. So ladies and gentlemen, I can start with E. Then in the analysis of fragments, so here we have the fragments, and E and D will become one mandatory pair. In the analysis of fragments of DNA from 101 Bronze Age skeletons from sequences from Unitian pestis, right? So this definitely E and D will make one pair. Then the analysis and the study, they both are interrelated. So E, D and A will form one pair, and then B and C will definitely come afterwards. So one triplet, the magic is to find one triplet which will be in one series. So E talks about the DNA, D talks about the analysis, A talks about the study of that disease which has been taken out of the analysis. So E, D, A and then B, C, right? I think Sajal was a bit confused, right? Sajal, I think E, D and then he wrote B. That should not be the case. E, D and A will be one triplet, right? So E, D, A, B, C, Rashri, Sahaj, right, and Deepika and Harshit, they all are absolutely correct. Bharti, I think you have committed a mistake out here again, right? You need to find out as to what is the subject, Bharti. D and B make a pair for testing. D and B make a pair for testing. No. D is talking about the analysis, and it's talk about the disease, and then here in this particular case we are studying the disease which is coming from D. That is why A is following D. Alright, Sajal? There is a different topic out there. Okay, Sajal? I hope now you are able to relate it. Bharti understood. Okay, great. And Sahaj and Rashri and Deepika, they have given us the right answer. Harshit also has given us the right answer. Wonderful, wonderful. Sajal, I hope this order is very clear to him. He's a bright boy. I don't know why he's committing mistake today. Oh, clear. Wonderful. Wonderful, Sajal. Alright. So, okay, so we have done all these questions. Now I'll come up with, we have done, alright, have we done all questions? Yes, we have done all questions. Let us all go to one beautiful, let's do one reading comprehension, guys, right? Let us all do one reading comprehension, and I will not take a very long reading comprehension, I'll take a very short reading comprehension. Okay, let's do this question. Charles Darwin case. Okay, yes, let's read this question. So we have one page of this reading comprehension, the second page, and then we start with the questions. So we have 2 pages in this reading comprehension. I'll give you 2 minutes to read one page. I'll give you just 2 minutes to read one page. You have to read this very fast within 2 minutes, right? And then I'll give you another page which you have to read within 2 minutes, and then we'll go on to answering questions. Okay, wonderful, ladies and gentlemen. Time limit is 2 minutes only, so be on your toes. Fast. Let's do it fast. Come on, guys, come on, come on. Second page, 2 minutes. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So we have done the questions. Done, done. All right. I'll give you 30 seconds more. And then I want a confirmation from everyone. If you have done it, then we move to the questions, ladies and gentlemen. Fast. Bharti, Sahaj, Sajal, Aditi, Rishabh, Deepika, Abhay, all guys, Rajshri. Okay, we'll go to the questions now. Question number 7. Question number 7. Answer it fast. Some scientists considered the term coral reef a misnomer as mentioned in the passage because what? Misnomer means confusing and something which does not come naturally. Okay, so why do some scientists consider the term coral reef a misnomer? A, beautiful shapes and colors of reefs are produced by sclerectina rather than the zooxanthellae. Okay, the coral portion of a reef has little to do with coral survival, so B cannot be the right answer at all. Non-reef building corals are found throughout the world, so we are not considering the whole world. So D, the majority of reef substance comprises zooxanthellae, foraminifera, and worms and assorted mollusks. I think this is absolutely correct because you read it in the paragraph, right? So between A and D, if you have to choose, definitely D is a much better option. So D will be the right answer, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure a lot of people have given the right answer. Brilliant. Let's go to question number 8. Let's go to question number 8. According to the passage, Darwin's theory regarding coral reef transformation is not universally accepted today. Opponents of Darwin's theory would not agree with which of the following statements? I want the answer fast. See, the question is very simple, okay? The opponents of Darwin's theory would not agree with which of the following. That means the opponents of Darwin will not agree with which of the following. That means whatever Darwin says, opponents will not agree to it. That means the question is asking which of the following is in line with what Darwin said, right? Darwin said, which of the following is in line with what Darwin said? Because the opponents of Darwin will not agree with which of the following. That means what does Darwin say, right? So if you go to the options now here, A, coral reefs change from fringing reefs to fringing barriers and then free floating atolls. This is not at all said by Darwin. Atolls are farther from land masses are barrier reefs. Again, this is not said by Darwin. Fringing reefs inevitably developed into barrier reefs because volcanic islands gradually sank into the ocean. Now this is something which Darwin did not say. One of the other persons said it. Darwin said, as a result of the end of the ice age, increased expanses of water aided in the transformation of fringing reefs into barrier reefs. You see, if you see here, right, see here, okay, coral reef, it was, Darwin was there, okay, Darwin said something like here, like, if you read this last paragraph, basically, you know, this comes out to prove that Darwin said something that, right? I'm not able to find where, but he said it, right? So D is definitely more, you know, more, what do you call it, a clear answer, right? This is something which Darwin is talking opposite to. So you must understand what the question is stating before you mark the right answer. This question is saying, what did Darwin say? So Darwin said D, not C. C is someone which the opponent said, right? I hope this is clear now. Or I'll have to read the paragraph for you guys, or you people understand this question. Jaldi se bata do mere ko. Just do let me know. Second last paragraph. Yes, Deepika, I'm sorry. Second last paragraph. Yeah. If you read the second last paragraph, there it was mentioned. Most of the people agree with Darwin. opponent said about sea level, sir? Alright, so you go here and we see this. Scientists have proposed various theories to explain transformation of fringing reefs, those connected over sea levels to land masses, into barrier reefs that are separated from shorelines or wide lagoons. Though the theory postulated by Charles Anderson is considered to be at least partially correct, some scientists today argue the creation of reef form has more to do with the rise of sea level, right? That means he said something else, right? The opponent talked about that particular thing. Yeah, read this, you know. However, recent relics have uncovered underlay volcanic which suggests that Darwin's explanation may have been more valid after all. Yes, maybe, and that is why he is explaining that it went off, right? As a result of the development of barrier, because volcanic gradually sank into the ocean. They did not sink into the ocean, they came up. Okay? Sajal, you are reading it opposite. Oh, Sajal, you are reading it opposite. See? Okay? Yeah. Right. There is saying that volcanoes came up. Here it is saying that they sank down. Right? That's what the catch in the question is. Sajal? Bharti is yes. Right. Clear. Alright. Brilliant. Okay. I hope this is very clear. This is an easy question, not very difficult question. Question number 9. Based on the passage, which of the following is probably an assumption of scientists underlying coral reef? What is the assumption? Something which the author did not state, but he imagined while saying something. Aditi, yes, D is the right answer. Yeah, D is the right. Right. 9th. Come on, guys, fast. The theories based on which of the following is probably an assumption of scientists studying coral reefs? Theories of reef evolution through glacial melting and through volcanic subsidence are mutually exclusive? No, they are not mutually exclusive. 3 main types of coral reef did not develop independently of one another. I can say safely, yeah, A is partially true, yeah, but not definitely true. Right? B, I think, is the most, B, I think, is the most close answer if you read it. Yeah. Aditi, C, corals have at last, yes, absolutely. Aditi has given a brilliant explanation anyways. Yeah. The correct answer should be B. The correct answer would be B. Okay. Why? A is partially correct. Intense calcification single-handedly protects reefs. Now, this is not correct because there are so many factors. Zooxanthellae are always found in, because had he been assuming that it is protected only by intense calcification, then he wouldn't be talking about many other factors. So D is not correct, B is alright, and A is definitely not correct because it is partially correct. Zooxanthellae are always found in coral reefs. They are always found in coral reef. Now this is a research, he has not assumed it, okay. So this again cannot be an assumption. It may be an inference but not an assumption. So B is the only answer which you can safely assume. Yes, so B is the right answer. Okay. 10th, the passage mentions the recent drillings at Eniwetok Atoll. This reference serves to what? This passage, this particular thing serves what? I think he is strengthening what Darwin said, right? He strengthened the claims made by Darwin concerning reef transformation. We just read it, right? So correct answer is C. It is strengthening the idea given by Darwin. Anyways, correct? 10th is C. Right? We'll get the answer from what we studied last paragraph, second last paragraph. Guys, did you all understand today's session? So we did see one reading comprehension will not take more than 6 minutes if you are very particular about your timing, right? This whole paragraph, which was apparently a good paragraph, right, in IPM Indore, it is very illogical to, I mean, I think you will not get a more difficult paragraph, right? This paragraph was pretty tricky and a good paragraph, okay? So this paragraph was also solved within 4 minutes, right? You read the whole paragraph in goddamn 4 minutes, and then you took like 30 seconds solving one question, alright? So it will take around 6 minutes to solve one complete reading comprehension in IPMAC, and not more than 1.5 or 2 minutes solving one VA question, right? So if you follow this pattern and if you keep yourself strictly to the time limit, then I'm sure you will be able to read all questions, solve all questions, and you have a brilliant accuracy as well. Now, accuracy comes only when you practice in time bound, okay? A lot of people do this mistake that they keep on solving parajumble or paracompletion without even considering the time limit, right? If you don't consider a time limit, you will never feel the pressure of time, and when you don't feel the pressure of time, then you are not actually simulating practice papers, all right? So in order to simulate practice papers, it is not just about writing a mock paper or solving a past year paper, it is also about solving it in right time limit, okay? So keep this, it is a, what do you call it, a broad line vision that you should take not more than 6 minutes in solving a reading comprehension paragraph, and not more than 30 seconds, 40 seconds in solving a question. And verbal ability, it should not be more than 2 minutes, okay? So that's what the game was. I think today's session was a good session. You people enjoyed this session. The level of questions were pretty good, right? And similarly, we'll keep on coming with good quality content for IPM Indore students as well, who have their examination due on 7th of the coming month, 7th of September, right? A lot of people are asking me that should they go for DUJAT or IPM, right? I would ask you to go for IPM, right? I would ask you to go for IPM, because for DUJAT you'll have to go to all the way to Delhi, or maybe because Lucknow does not have a center. So people, if you thought we have a center of DUJAT in your city, you should write DUJAT, because the number of seats in IPM Indore are very less. But if you are very much concerned about getting into IPM, then definitely you should go for 5-year program. Then you should be writing IPM Rohtak, IPM Indore. So it depends on your choice, right? DUJAT is definitely a more safe option, because the number of seats in DUJAT is more, right? And and if you're confident about DUJAT, you should go for DUJAT, right? In IPM Indore, the number of seats are less. So choosing between two examinations, I would say, depends on your comfort level. If you are very well prepared and you are very confident about the fact that you will be cracking IPM Indore, then you should go for IPM Indore. And if you are a little bit less confident and you think that you have to find a safer option, then DUJAT is the choice to go for, right? So this is how we'll decide into it, okay? That is all for the day, ladies and gentlemen. That's all for the day. Please provide OTP number. Harshita, you have messaged me like 10 times. How can I provide OTP number? OTP goes on your mobile number, and if you are not receiving OTP, right, that means that the network issue, there is a network issue or something, that try after some time, okay? I cannot provide you OTP number. You will get OTP on your mobile number. All right, Harshita? All right, thank you so much. God bless you all. That's for the day. Thank you. Bye. Take care.